Looks matter way more for men than they do for women. They do. It's just human nature. And you know how I know this? I have spent a considerable amount of time in the publishing industry. And I have spent a lot of time primarily marketing books to an audience of women. And most of these women, you know what kind of books they're reading? Romance books. Look at the book covers. The book covers are a really good indication of the type of men women are largely attracted to. What are these physical characteristics of the men on these book covers? They're tall, athletic, lean, broad shoulders. They have abs. Most of them have a full head of hair, strong jawline, good facial features. Women across all ethnicities and races are attracted to that type of archetype of a man. It's literally embedded in our human DNA. This is human evolutionary biology, and you cannot escape the reality of this. And I'm going to also say this. Having spent a lot of time reading a lot of romance novels, there's a common theme that I see in all of these stories, in that the male character who fits those aforementioned physical characteristics tends to also be a narcissist, psychopathic, and at times very abusive. But for some odd reason, the women who write these stories always set the women protagonists to fall in love with this type of man. A man who typically is a violent, narcissistic, psychopath, or sociopath. I'm not lying. I'm not lying.
Exactly. Not only in the books and the movies too. Right. But sometimes they'll spin it to where the girl or the good guy is in love with the girl that's with the bad boy, right? But for some reason, she just can't break free of his grasp, right? And I just wish a lot of guys would get this concept more. The less you care, the more they're interested. Less is more for whatever reason. I'm gonna give you the reason. Less is more because most women are so used to getting attention just by existing that when they don't get it, especially when it's by somebody that they deem attractive, right, or their archetype, it just burns them up. It just gets underneath their skin. They must know why. They need to understand why. So that's when they start being extra, doing extra, saying extra, intentionally doing things to get you to react, right? Now, will you take the bait? I don't know. If you take the bait, she might pull back then. Who knows? But when you hold firm and then you just not going for none of that bullshit, regardless of what she looks like, because what you should really be focused on is her mental, right? Looks and stuff like that stuff to a degree is superficial. Of course, you want her body proportion in the right areas, but to a degree, at some point, looks become superficial, and then after a certain, it's like marginal gains, right? You know what I'm saying? And to touch on what he said about women liking a certain archetype, just like men like a certain archetype of women, right? They like the hourglass figure. They don't mind fat as long as it's in the right places, right? And also, there are a lot of simp ass dudes out here that really do not care what a female looks like. We prefer that specific hourglass figure, but a lot of these guys are missing out or deprived of women or deprived of sex. But the thing is, if they would just put their self first, everything else would follow. But that's another story for a different day. They would get it would just come naturally. But they're too busy caught up in the illusion that they have to have this woman, or doing or being overly nice or trying to overcompensate to appease this woman is going to somehow win her over, when that is the exact opposite of what you want to do. Focus on yourself. Be selfish until you could become selfless, right? Heard that earlier. What did that? Who said it? I don't know who said it. God damn it. Put words from a wise man. Be selfish until you can become selfless. Because you can't do something for somebody else, or you can't hope to really do for a person to the extent that you may want to, or the magnitude that you may want to, if you haven't done the groundwork and built yourself up to a certain point. You get what I'm saying? So all of that stuff that you're doing to try to impress someone, to impress that certain someone, that girl, whoever it is, that's all going to be done in vain, because they're going to see it and they're going to look at you and think the shit is pathetic, bro. Pathetic. And then you're going to look at yourself and just think, well, what am I doing wrong? What have I done? You know? I also think that women have, as so men have the preference of the hourglass figure, women have that preference of the broad shoulders, you know, the chiseled jawline, you know, the common features of a masculine looking man. You get what I'm saying? They prefer that, but some of these things can be overlooked if a man has enough charisma, if a man is, you know, inviting, attractive, and like I said, attractive and good looking are two completely different things. But if you can master both of them, if you have good genetics and are, you know, naturally good looking and can improve upon those building blocks, plus you can develop your personal skills or social skills to match that and to become more attractive, bro, you're having your fucking way. I don't care what anybody says. But let's just say you weren't genetically gifted and don't have the features that, you know, some people may be blessed with. But a person can have those features, but just be weird and awkward and just be like what they call an incel, which, you know, on the outside, looking in, you're like, oh yeah, objectively you're attractive. But when they start talking to them and you start, you know, hearing the thought process and everything, it just turns a bitch completely up, just dries her the fuck up. But a man with good social skills and attractiveness, that can compensate for some of the lack of aesthetics and or, you know, genetics that they weren't gifted with. You get what I'm saying? They can get a You can get away with that as a man if you have some swag, you're a smooth talker, you know, just not weird in a sense. It can increase your attractiveness. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, vice versa, females don't give a fuck. If it got a hole, most likely they do gonna go. But let's get back into it.
There are literally genres of books out there that literally have women falling in love with traffickers, mafia men, thugs. I mean, I could go on. It's crazy. Kingpins. And when you look at the physical descriptions of these men in these books, yeah, they're very fantasy like, but where is that coming from? And why do these books resonate so much with women? Why do the writers keep pumping these types of books out? Men, a lot of you all are in denial. That is what women prefer. So I refute this argument that looks matter way more for women than they do for men. I actually think it's the opposite. Because a lot of men don't fit those aforementioned physical characteristics. And because biologically we are set up to be a little bit more, how can I say this? A little bit more charged up, you know, when it comes to our reproductive, energy. I'm trying to get around some of these community guidelines. When it comes to, you know, getting action or wanting to get action, men pretty much will fall for just about anything. We have way lower standards than women do.
What did I just say? The fuck did I just say? I haven't seen this, by the way. I have not watched this. I have not watched this video. And what did I just say? Ooh.
Women typically date at their level and above, and men at their level and below. Yeah. You just gotta deal with this reality, man. So, I'm saying all this to say that, yeah, I disagree with this 100%. Looks matter way more for men than they do for women. And let me also say this, and I know this is a controversial take. A woman would rather deal with a fine ass, sexy ass, big eggplant having broke man before they want to deal with a beta billionaire.
He's right, bro. We're right. We're both right. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is what it is. This is the reality. And like I said, the sooner these simp guys adjust to the dating market and understand that the less you try to make her happy and make yourself happy and do what you need to do, the more life will go in your favor. You're too busy you're too worried and you're too caught up in what she's doing. Who gives a damn? I can give a fuck what you doing, baby. Right? If you're not serving me and my purpose, you can go and hit that damn road. Respectfully. You can go and get the fuck up out of here, baby. And ain't no love lost. Because I understand how this game works. You cannot hate the game, you gotta hate the player. Oh shit, I said that backwards. You cannot hate the player, you gotta hate the game. But you shouldn't even hate the game. What you should do is study the game. You want to study the game, understand the ins and outs, and do what works best for you, right? You want to make this game, you want to try to, I wouldn't say cheat it in a sense, but you want to exploit it to make it more effective for yourself, make it more optimal for what you were, what your stats were, right? What your stats were, what you were born with, in a sense. That's how you want to tailor the game to you. You want to make it as easy as possible for you to get the things you want. And how do you start by doing that? You focus on developing yourself, brother. What it is. I've said this before, I'm on a journey as such as Quan Millz to get myself in better shape. And I'm kind of lucky to where I still, had attention from women, even me gaining weight, right? But I just, you cannot worry about, even now, I don't worry about what the next girl is doing or why she's not giving me attention or why she's looking at him and not me. It's pointless. You cannot change what a person does. But you know who you can change? You know who you are in control of? You know what you can do? Work on yourself, bro. Work on yourself. And I promise you, every other worry that you're having, any doubt that you've had up to this point, thus far, it will be relinquished. I don't know if that was the right word for that context. You know what it is. But I don't know. Shit. But I do know one thing though. Make sure I dot your I's across your T's. If you want one-on-one consultation, link will be in the description, pinned to the first comment. It's your boy Alex. Catch y'all in the next one.